How did I even get into a master's program in a country like a million miles away? Well, I suppose that's what I'm going to be talking about for our video here today. Because a few weeks ago, I got acceptance letters from the Frankfurt School of Finance and Management, the European School of Management and Technology Berlin, or ESMT Berlin, and Mannheim Business School. And I want to talk about that. Hey there everyone, it's Masters in the Mind, and today I'm going to be talking about business school applications and how you can get into your dream business school program in Germany, in Europe, anywhere abroad, because usually the application process is going to be more or less the same. You could expect something like a paper pass of all of your GMAT scores, TOEFL scores, your CV, your essays, that kind of thing. After that, you can expect your interviews, one or two interviews with maybe an admissions officer, maybe the program director of the program that you've applied to. And lastly, it's all about choosing. So what did that process look like for me? I'll walk you guys through 3 key things that I kept in mind during my business school application process. I'll walk you guys through what I did to prepare for my GMAT. I'll walk you guys through the interview process, and lastly, I'll give you guys an overview of my plan, what I plan to achieve with my business school degree, how I plan to acclimate to life abroad in Germany, and even how I plan to learn the language. So, I'll start off with the first pillar, and the thing that most people will dread when they're starting their business school application journey: standardized test scores. In general, most business schools will require one of 3 scores, one of 3 tests: the GMAT, the GRE, or an admissions test that they've made especially for their program, especially for the university. In ESMT Berlin, for example, they have the business admissions test, the ESMT business admissions test, or the ESMT BAT. I definitely recommend opting for the GMAT. It's accepted across every single business school worldwide, and is basically the measure for comparing business schools. The average GMAT score of its students within its cohorts from one university to the next. And that's usually going to be one of the metrics that people will look at. That's going to be one of the metrics that the Financial Times will look at, for example, when comparing and ranking different business schools. One of the biggest benefits of opting for the GMAT is that you have this huge wealth of resources to be able to draw on for your whole admissions test preparation journey, which for some people might take less than a month, and for other people might take 6 months or even up to a year. Let me tell you all about the GMAT resources that worked for me. To start off with the free ones, what worked for me was the r/GMAT subreddit. It gives you community to hunker back on, and lots of different beginner guides that help you get your feet wet and understand where to start when it comes to approaching the huge, scary beast that is the GMAT. The next would be the GMAT Ninja YouTube channel. I'll plug their link in the description below. It's a great channel for really being able to deep dive on particular topics, particular parts of the GMAT that you don't feel familiar with or are comfortable with. They have hour-long videos that just talk about one particular topic and start with the easy questions and then slowly work their way up until you've reached the level of comfort for that topic that suits you and the target score that you have. Oh, and speaking about target scores, the other free resource that I definitely recommend taking are the free official practice tests on MBA.com. They really closely mirrored not just the format of the questions and the tests that you're going to be taking up with the GMAT, but it resembles the level of difficulty, the level of complexity, and the scaling difficulty system that you can expect on the GMAT. So whatever score it outputs for you on your first test before you started all of your studying with all of these different resources, whatever that first cold take test score of yours looks like, you can compare it to your target score. Let's say, for example, the average score of a student in your target business school. And usually a good rule of thumb that I've seen online is for every 10 points that you are away from your target score, that's going to be another 10 hours that you'd need, 10 hours worth of prep that you'd need before you can get that target score. And for paid resources that worked for me with taking my GMAT, I had 2. First was this big hefty Kaplan GMAT Prep Plus 2020 book. I had a 2020 version, but it worked just as well for me when I took the GMAT earlier this year in 2023. If you take a secondhand copy and it's not the same year, you're going to be fine. Same as well for all of the digital licenses that come with it, especially the 6 practice tests and online questions that you might want to take so that you can practice all of your different topics with Kaplan online with the digital license that comes with your book. And next was the GMAT app by Manhattan Prep. I really liked the app because it gave me a chance to practice all of my verbal questions for whenever you only had 2 or 3 minutes. Let's say I was out and about, maybe in a coffee shop, in line somewhere. If I could only take a few questions, I could take it here on the app. Once you've sent in your applications, your GMAT score as your essays, you can expect an email in around 1 to 2 weeks. And what's going to happen if you've been lucky enough to be accepted into the next round of the admissions process is you'll get an invite, usually with an admissions officer, someone at the admissions team, or maybe even the program director of the program you've applied to. And it's just going to be a quick chat, nothing too technical. It's just going to be an overview of what your career story has been so far and your career aspirations, basically. Why you applied to that business school, why you specifically chose that business school or that country, and what you think life after graduation from that program is going to look like for you. After that chat, for some universities, you might be given a case study. In those cases, they'll send you a pre-read, usually just a 1 to 2 page article, and then you'll have to go through your own analysis of the case. What are your takeaways? What would you do if you were in the shoes of the people who were in that article? And just display the level of business acumen and business sense that you've been able to accumulate through your undergrad and through your work experience so far. My only tip, really, and this is the most important thing that worked for me, my only tip really for the interview process is to be genuine, to be candid, and to not be afraid to express your passion. Not be afraid to express what excites you about business, what excites you about the business school that you're applying to, what excites you about the whole idea of being able to take a master's program in a country a million miles away. When you let a passion like that show, the interviewer gets to know you and gets to get excited by your own vision for yourself. I've been on both sides of the interview table, and the best and biggest takeaway an interviewer can leave the table with is a sense of excitement, a sense of looking forward to really getting to meet the interviewee, whether it's on the job or in the business school campus. So that's the overall goal that you should be looking to hit during your business school interview. And now, finally, the last pillar is building a plan. And for everything. Building a plan for everything. A plan for what you're going to be doing, which orgs you're going to be joining once you get into the business school. A plan for which skills and which courses you're really looking forward to the most from that particular program. What do you think you're going to be able to take away the most from? Even a plan for your language learning acclimation. Now, why this is important is because once you have a plan and that sort of structure and framework for how you're going to be achieving things and what you're going to be doing with the business school program, that helps you across literally every single facet of the admissions process. It helps you with choosing the right business school for you, choosing a program and country that you think would best suit what you want to achieve. It helps you with your application process with all of the essays, and it definitely helps you during the interview process, where the interviewer gets to know that if I get this person into my program, he's going to be doing something really exciting and he's going to be able to achieve something that I want to be able to be there to see. Building a plan for every part of the business school process is going to pay dividends, whether you're just starting out or whether you're even choosing which business school acceptance letter to lock in and take. And that's why I definitely recommend at the start of your process, at the start of your admissions journey, just taking 30 minutes to an hour, just laying down a few key things. What your career aspiration is. What do I want to achieve with my professional career? Do I want to be a rock star marketer one day? Do I want to be a CEO in one company or another? Or do I want to be able to achieve a particular vision I have for some brand or a product that I have in mind? Once you have that career aspiration in mind, I would match that with what programs am I looking at and what can they do to contribute. Maybe they have the connections in a network that I want to be able to tap into. Maybe they have this great academic background and research for one particular field, like marketing or sales or finance. Or maybe it's in a city that you find particularly exciting, that you want to be able to work in and really want to be able to break into. Those are the 3 key things I kept in mind during my admissions journey. Preparing for my standardized tests, letting my passions show during the interview process, and having a plan up my sleeve for anything and everything during the entire journey. Now, if I was able to give you some insight or help you out with anything with your own admissions journey, I'd really appreciate a like, a comment, a subscription down in the channel below, and be sure to stay tuned for more videos just like this outlining what life taking up a master's degree in a country a million miles away is going to be like. That's it for now. I'll see you guys next time.